At the banquet held in Tokyo's Imperial Hotel, Mr. Armstrong was guest of honor. Here to listen to his address were many leaders of Japanese society. Mr. Armstrong was especially honored by the presence at his table of His Imperial Highness Prince Mikasa and Princess Mikasa. Also in attendance were 11 members of the Japanese Diet. The Diet, elected by the people, is the highest Congress of national power and the sole law-making instrument of the country. The Japanese Diet selects the nation's prime minister from among its own members. Also present to hear Mr. Armstrong's message were ambassadors of 20 other countries, including Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Peru, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Tunisia, Poland, Spain, Sweden, Turkey, Iran, Israel, Kuwait, Lebanon, Syria, Indonesia, Thailand, and the People's Republic of China. Before his address, Mr. Armstrong was introduced by several prominent Japanese leaders. The first introduction was given by Mr. Tokuo Yamashita. Mr. Yamashita is not only a member of the Japanese Diet since 1974, but also is one of 12 members of the Diet who consider themselves Mr. Armstrong's Japanese sons.
We wanted to welcome our father, Dr. Herbert Armstrong, for some time. It has been a year since he visited us last, and we are very, very happy to welcome Dr. Armstrong again. When we learned that Dr. Armstrong would be visiting Japan, those of us who have been nurtured by him, his sons, organized this banquet. Dr. Armstrong has carried his mission beyond race, nationality, and socio-political viewpoint. He seeks to serve people all over the world, giving his virtue to almost every corner of the world. Without expecting any reward, he just gives and gives and gives.
The second introduction was presented by Mr. Bunsai Sato, another of Mr. Armstrong's Japanese sons. Mr. Sato, a former Vice Minister of Transportation, is an author and a member of the Diet. Mr. Sato is currently serving as chairman of the Public Relations Committee for the Liberal Democratic Party, the majority party of the Diet.
It was exactly 10 years ago, January of 1972, when we represented this country at the San Clemente Conference, where our late Prime Minister Sato met with former President Nixon. It was the first time that we were received by Dr. Armstrong. That was 10 years ago. The conference was a very crucial summit between the U.S. and Japan to discuss the reversion of Okinawa. At that time, Dr. Armstrong gave us strategic support, you might say, behind the scenes to make our activities more effective at the conference. That same summer, you may recall that Prime Minister Tanaka met with President Nixon in Hawaii. At that time again, Dr. Armstrong supported our activities. Recognizing his great contribution to U.S.-Japan relations, His Majesty the Emperor of Japan conferred upon him the Second Order of the Sacred Treasure. Dr. Armstrong, who so kindly taught us people-to-people diplomacy and diplomacy among the parliamentarians, he is a most honored teacher. But today again we are very happy to see our father, Dr. Armstrong, who calls us my sons, with tears in his eyes. We, the members of the Diet, welcome you as our grandfather. Grandpa, welcome back to Tokyo. I sincerely hope and wish that, Dr. Armstrong, you keep your strong health and spirit so you can carry your God-given task, your great mission to all the world. I thank you very much.
After the first two speakers, the audience was privileged to hear from His Imperial Highness Prince Mikasa, the brother of Emperor Hirohito. Prince Mikasa, a longtime close friend of Mr. Armstrong, dating back to their initial meeting in 1968, asked the entire audience to join him in honoring Mr. Armstrong with a toast.
Dr. Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen, I've been associated with Dr. Armstrong for a number of years, and personally I forgot when I first met Dr. Armstrong. So I asked him, when did we first meet? And he remembered very clearly. It was in 1968. Since then, Dr. Armstrong has been very kind to me, and I have kept a close friendship with him. Not only that, but as you heard in the speeches, Dr. Armstrong has helped the academic affairs of Japan, as well as world peace. We were told that this July you will be celebrating your 90th anniversary. This is a most festive occasion, but as we well know nowadays, the longevity of the human race is extending, so that I hope you will live a long, healthy life, well beyond 90 years. For that, we give this toast.
Dr. Armstrong.